ready. Spring Guard College. She's a handful.
Back in the day, we used to go there, so worried about my leg. I was bigger. And that place is a detriment.
Yes, the college.
Ain't gonna make it any worse.
I hadn't been there 3 or 4 years.
We used to get there. Anytime I go there.
Okay, it's 6:30, time to start our regular scheduled meeting. Summer, will you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Blevins?
Here.
Commissioner Norwood?
Present.
Commissioner Stallings?
Here.
I'm sorry. Commissioner Siragusa?
Here.
Commissioner Stallings?
Here.
Commissioner Roberts?
Here.
Commissioner Orr?
Here.
And Mayor Mason.
Here. Tonight, our invocation will be by Pastor Vera Porter, and our flag salute will be by Commissioner Orr, Scott Orr. So if you would, let's stand for our prayer, and then we'll have our flag salute.
Join me in the attitude of prayer. Almighty and triune God, we give thanks and praise for all of your mighty works. You are loving and good and gracious. Thank you for creating us and sustaining us day by day. Thank you that you made us in your image to exist in community with other people. We thank you for our city of Enid, Oklahoma. Thank you for our elected officials, the businesses, the churches, the families, and the individuals that make our city the great place that it is. But Lord, we acknowledge that we do not deserve these good gifts. We're not worthy of your favor, for we have sinned against you in thought, word, and deed. We do things that we should not do. We don't do the things that we should do. We have not loved you with our whole heart. We have not loved our neighbors as ourselves. We appeal to the Lamb of God, Jesus Christ, who died for our sins. Forgive us and give us a heart of obedience to your holy scriptures. Thank you that Jesus rose from the dead and now reigns as king over heaven and earth. Grant that our city will be known as a righteous city, a city that confesses Jesus as Lord, a city of peace and hope, a city with happy homes, a city that welcomes the stranger, a city that cares for the needy, a city that defends the innocent from evildoers. Lord, thank you for civil government. Those who bear the sword do so as your ministers, to be a terror to crime. I pray that our civil servants will acknowledge this calling and perform it faithfully. Be with our judges, attorneys, law enforcement, firemen and women. Grant that they would never neglect or abuse their authority, but that they will stand firm for truth and justice. Keep them safe from harm as they serve our community. I pray for this council meeting tonight. Give the council members wisdom and guidance as they deliberate on the items before them. May every decision be righteous in your sight for our benefit and for your glory. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, I ask this prayer. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3.1, consider approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of February the 6th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 4.1, present pet available for adoption at the city's Animal Welfare Department. You've got a big one tonight.
Good evening, guys. I have Mudman here. He's about 6 weeks old. I gave him a bath, so he's all nice and comfy in my arms. Remember, free adoption, you get a voucher from the SPCA to get him spay or neutered, depending on the sex of the breed. microchip, the rest of the shots, a little bit of a health check to make sure they're doing good. They need a home. Don't forget about us out there. The rescues make the best animals. They really do, guys. And you get in what you put out of it, you know. They make good dogs and cats. Thank you, guys.
Christina, is that an only child, or is there others in that
Well,
litter?
this one came in with 6. They were found way out of town a little bit. Still in city limits, though. I have 2 left. He's got a little brother, a little bit smaller than him. He is in pen 31. He is free. The adoption is free, so he's nice and comfy because I gave him a nice warm bath, so. All right, guys. You guys have a good evening. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Item 4.2, recognize City of Enid Employee of the Month for February.
Come on up, ladies. Hi, Vanessa. This is always a pleasure. I say it every time. It is the truth. I've known Vanessa ever since I've been here. I think Vanessa's been at the city around 25 years or so? 21 years, okay. And I've always known her to be a hardworking, conscientious city employee. And so over the course of every month, the people are nominated by various folks, their peers, their supervisors, other supervisors, people that want to recognize them. We always have many qualified people. I think we had at least 3 this time. And I think since I've appointed myself the interim public works director, I got a vote this time. And you know what? I'm not sure I swung it your way or not, but I think everybody was deserving. But I really appreciate, I interact with you quite a bit here in this building. And you do all kinds of stuff. And Carol, I think I'll let you talk about what she does for us.
Well, she's worked for the city for 21 years. She started in the city clerk's department, at the windows. Then she went down to code with a promotion, and then inexplicably, she applied to work for me in a difficult job. She has to do all the open records, and there are a lot. Well, except for the police department, unless they ask for our help, which is rare. And let's see, tort claims, accidents, workers' comp, and I know I'm forgetting something. Oh, yes, and all sorts of claims and things like that. And she does it. She has lots of deadlines. She meets them. She's very helpful to people that call, residents, other employees. She's very deserving, and I'm very glad that she consented to work in my department.
Well, Vanessa, I want to give you this. I want to thank you. You always have a calm demeanor about you, too, that's calming, not just for all of us, but also for the public. So I think you do an outstanding job. Here is your plaque, suitable for hanging on your wall. Here is a coin that says you're a most valuable player in the city.
Thank you so much.
And it's your turn to talk.
Hi. I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you. I do appreciate it, and I enjoy working here, so thank you so much.
Item 4.3, consider appointment to the Public Library of Enid and Garfield County Board of Directors. We have one appointment opening for this. We have several people that have signed up. What we always do on these appointments, I'll call your name. If you'll make your way up to the microphone, give us your name, and then if you just want to tell us why you think you would be a good fit for this board, we would appreciate that. I was asked beforehand, honestly, don't set a time limit on this, but please be considerate of everyone else's time, and but say your piece. You know, it's your opportunity. You're applying for a position. So with that being said, going to start off with, let's see, Michael Blackwood. No? Okay. Norman Gray, I didn't see Norman either.
Mayor Mason, Norman teaches a class on Thursday nights and could not be here, but he asked me to send his apologies. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, very good, thank you. Pierce Jones. Ada Mary Enriquez. Angela Krieger. Please don't rush the microphone. Keith Hagedon. Trudy Bandy. I saw Miss Bandy. All right.
Finally, you got one. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great.
I have to tell you that I sang at Candlestick Park before a Giants-Cubs game. 50,000 people. Wasn't even nervous, not a bead of sweat. I come and stand before you guys and I get so nervous. So bear with me.
You sang the national anthem?
I did.
Good to know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, yeah. So see, I can talk about that, but this is different. According to the January 2023 Policy Manual for the Enid Public Library, their mission is to provide access to materials and services in a variety of formats, while reflecting community standards to meet educational, informational, and recreational needs of the community. The library promotes freedom of thought, literacy, a love for reading, and lifelong learning. One of the 5 duties of a library board member from this same resource includes reviewing, developing, and adopting policies that affect patrons, public service, and the availability of those services for the residents of Garfield County. Libraries support educational opportunities. Libraries preserve cultural heritage and history. Libraries provide access to necessary resources for marginalized communities. I am the type of person who reviews and studies and contemplates and comes to city council and takes notes. I do all this to make decisions that not only affect me, but will affect others as well. I love to teach, and I like to be taught. I am fair, I have a very strong work ethic, and I pride myself in being a trustworthy friend and confidant. With these characteristics combined with my passion for education, I know that becoming a board member for the library, I can not only help them reach their mission goal, but I can help them maintain it as well. I would sure appreciate your vote tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Mitchell Cowan? Did I say it right? Close? No?
Michelle.
Michelle.
It's Michelle.
Michelle.
Hi. My name is Michelle Cowan, and when I submitted my application, you got a copy of my resume and statement of purpose, so I'm not going to bore you with reading it. I'll just give you some general things right now. I grew up in Enid, and I graduated from Enid High School. I then moved to Tulsa to get a master's degree in music from the University of Tulsa, and while I was starting a family, I actually ended up teaching at the University of Tulsa in the music department for 27 years. I moved back to Enid last year to be close to family after I retired. The first thing I did when I moved back to Enid was I went down to the library and got my library card. That's how much I love the library. I also joined book clubs. I'm actually in 4, which may be one too many. But it is a lot of fun, I have to admit. I also joined a Sit and Stitch club, and also joined the Friends of the Library so I could volunteer on a weekly basis to help the librarians out. For me, a library is more than just checking out books. It also gives me a sense of community. I also spent 2 years in New Mexico with my daughter and grandkids, and I also joined the library there because I know that when you go to the library, you're going to find people with like interests and people with open minds. And it just is such a sense of community for me, and a jewel for Enid to have this library. So I tend to be very positive, and after working on the university level for 27 years and having to deal with those politics, I can tell you that the most important things, no matter what kind of board you're in or what kind of meeting you're in, the most important thing that you can do is to listen and respect what the other person is saying. And so I come into this with a positive outlook and a sense of trying to work together for the betterment of the library, for the betterment of the people of Enid. Thank you.
Thank you. Ray Graves, Miss Graves?
She's not here.
Okay. Christy Bolden?
Hello. Most of you know me, but I'm going to use my time to tell you things you may not know about me. I'm Christy Bolden. I've lived in Enid for 38 years, 36 of those with my husband Byron. We raised all 3 of our children here. I am an English major and a published writer. You know me, but I want to highlight the parts of my life that I believe would make me an asset to the library board. Contrary to local postcard claims, I do not support having pornography in the library. That's utter insanity. I know that's in print, and I felt I needed to address that. I believe that I have the right combination of experiences to benefit the library. I have owned my own business. I learned the importance of making difficult decisions that can make or break people. I have founded a nonprofit from the ground up, from writing mission statements, bylaws, and meeting all rules, laws, and expectations of a 501c3 as dictated by the IRS, and dealing with both state and federal agencies for compliance following the law matters. I served as the Executive Director, Finance Committee Chair, and Pride Committee Chair for this nonprofit. For many years, I served on the United Way Allocations Committee. We sifted through hundreds of pages of area nonprofits' programming criteria, assessed whether the program area goals and objectives were met, studied budget allocations, budget shortfalls, over expenditures, salary appropriateness, and so on. All that to determine if they should receive the funding that they were requesting from the United Way, as well as deciding which programs had priority and were meeting the needs of the community as it was intended. I'm a fast learner and a motivated person. I started as a receptionist at the First United Methodist Church, and within 2 months, David Wiggs designed an entire program for me and named me Director of Evangelism. In less than 6 months, we had tripled our new visitor weekly stats and hosted the 3 of the largest attended Sunday services in over 50 years in less than 6 months. I was successful at these and other endeavors because all of them require the ability to work with, communicate well with, and genuinely listen to a very diverse group of people in order to accomplish the goals. Any group of people, no matter how small, are going to have distinct differences. If we focus on those differences, political, religious, or otherwise, we will fail. Solutions are about finding common ground and making compromises. The Enid Public Library is there to serve all members of our community, all, not just the ones who vote like you, who look like you, who read the books that you do. I believe that we can find a way to serve all of Enid while respecting each other's differences. And I believe that I can help to meet the library's commitment to serving Enid.
Thank you. Katina Sundervall? Jenny Shipley. Carrie Moorhead. Marianne Gray. Doug Newell, no, Doug's not here. Vicki Haywarden. Carly Miller. Oh, you're right, not Carly, Charlie. An H makes a difference in that. Charlie Miller, no. Robert Falk. Michael Rich. And Brooke Anderson.
Hello, thank you for your time tonight. My name is Brooke Anderson, and while I'm not originally from Enid, I grew up in a very small town in Ohio, and then spent my time at Ohio State majoring in animal science, and then moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, where I got a master's in swine nutrition. My career path brought me here to Enid, where I worked at Hanover for the last 2.5 years, and then just recently switched to a remote role with Kent Feeds, and am now a swine account manager. But one of the things that I've done as I've moved to all these different cities is that I've gotten a library card. I grew up with a English teacher for a mom. She taught me English 3 out of 4 years in high school. So we grew up with all sorts of books, always reading. Summer reading challenges at the library, that was where I could be found. So coming to a new small town, somewhat small town, and getting a library card, I've been pretty active checking out just ebooks and utilizing that resource that we have. But since the beginning of the year, I've started attending book clubs and really enjoyed finding that community here in Enid. And at these book club meetings, I learned that we have a library board of directors and what they do, and that there were some spots open. So I did some research, watched a couple of their meetings on Facebook, and was like, yeah, that's something I think I could do. And while I realize that I'm definitely one of the younger applicants, I think that gives me almost an advantage because I'm able to connect with a large portion of the Enid population. The younger demographics, our library has sections for children, YA, and teens, and adults. And I think oftentimes kind of some of those younger groups and those younger generations get missed. And so I would love to be able to represent that portion of our population here in Enid, and it would be an honor to serve on the library board as one of the younger members and kind of represent a fresh outlook from someone who understands those small town community values, but has lived and traveled around the country and has seen a lot and has been very involved in all the places where I've lived and communities and organizations that I've been a part of, and I think the library would be a good fit for me. Thank you.
Thank you. That's the last applicant that we had. Commissioners, if you'll select one person, and then don't forget to circle your name down at the bottom as well. Okay. And while they tally those, I'm going to move on to 4.4, and we'll come back to 4.3. Consider appointment to the Enid Park and Recreation Board. We have 3 appointments on that, 3 appointments. So we'll follow the same procedure. I'll just go down the list. When I call your name, if you'll come up to the stand and tell us who you are and why you think you'd be a good fit. The first person on my list is James Cheatham. I think he's here. Donald John. Andrew Ingalls. Nicole Winfield. And Robert Falk in here. Okay, well, that doesn't take long. So that being said, please select your 3 choices, commissioners, and then don't forget to circle your name at the bottom. So I want to start off by saying we had some great applicants tonight. I appreciate the things that you said. It's unfortunate we only have one position right now, but since I've been on the board, this is our third position that we filled on the library board. So if you don't get selected tonight, please hang in there. We need volunteers, and if not on the library board, there are many, many other boards out there. So please don't give up, okay? Norman Gray received 1 vote, and that was from Commissioner Norwood. Trudy Bandy received 6 votes. That was from Commissioner Blevins, Commissioner Saragusa, Commissioner Roberts, Stallings, and myself. So congratulations, and that was all the votes that were cast. Okay. 4.5, I don't think we have anything else on that. Study session to approve. I think I'll go ahead and move to the 5.1, and then we'll come back to the results on that. 5.1, consider approval of a contract with Richard and Karen Simpson for the purchase of a 168-acre tract of land located at the northwest corner of 66th and Chestnut for inclusion in a new industrial park in the amount of $1,200,000.
I'll speak to this item. As the commission knows, some time ago, for a variety of reasons, but primarily to help promote economic development and allow the city to compete for businesses, medium-sized businesses of some size. The decision was made to add or create a new industrial park on 66th Street. TP&L is already located there, as you know. What helped precipitate this was the grant that the city or ERDA got on behalf of the city for $15.8 million to put in utilities, principally water and sewer, to serve the potential businesses there. TP&L's there already. The commission recently, it's been several meetings ago, approved the purchase of the 398 acres from the Easterly folks, the Easterly family. And tonight, you had the opportunity to approve a purchase of the Simpson property. The price for the Simpson property is determined, as you probably see from the sales contract, it's 160 acres. It's on the, can you bring up the map, Kent, so we can show the commission where it's at? It's on the northwest corner of Chestnut and 66th. Price was $6,000 an acre. And there's a house on the property. The price for the house, it's a 5,000 square foot house, was $200,000. This is the home of Rick and Karen Simpson. And the agreement, as you've seen, looking at it, gives them 180 days to move out. It would take, if it's approved tonight, it would take 30 days to get to closing. The funds are provided by the $5 million loan that was taken out some time ago. That's where the approximately 2.5 was paid for the Easterly property. This one's a total of 1.2, so that'd leave a little bit of money, but it would further the goal of the city to have about, 560 acres?
Yes.
Of property available, principally for our ERDA and Dr. Mack to go out and aggressively market and respond to RFPs on. Go ahead.
I will say also that while we do have some other land that ERDA owns, there are no large tracts. And this is enabling us to go after a different type of business entity, much larger buildings that we were not in the, we did not have the ability to do that prior to. So that's the purchase, or the reason for this purchase. So with that being said, before I call for a motion, I'll open it up to any comments that any of the commissioners might have.
Mayor, I agree with this move. It's going to really help us in a great way in the future, and it's going to allow us to be able to attract businesses. So it's a great thing, especially for the price. It's exceptional.
Like the other property that we had purchased on the other side of the road and a little bit to the north, this property also has rail access.
Yes. Yes.
Which is very important for certain industries that come into the area that need the rail access. This property butts right up to the rail line, Burlington's rail line, so.
The home will be torn down, I assume, at some point.
Yeah, I think my intent as a city manager right now is if the property purchase is approved tonight, the Simpsons will have 180 days. I know the deal's been done with Colream and Nicholas over there. He knows he will help us, and I know I haven't.
Yeah.
Rick will be moving out.
Yeah.
He'll find a place.
Well, I just wanted to say I've actually been out to this property before, and it's a very unique home, so it's sad to see it go. And if you've ever got the chance to go inside, you will know it looks every bit like the old Simpsons in downtown. So it's, but I'm sure the Simpsons will
I don't think the city will be
build
in
a much
hurry.
better and grander place.
I don't see a need to tear it down until such time as we get an industry to come in that wants that land. And then obviously either we or they will tear that property down at that time. And I've never been in it, but it sounds like it'll be a loss from that perspective, but the land will go on. I believe, I haven't talked directly to Rick Simpson about it, but I know he's a community-minded person. And I believe that part of the intent here is to help the city and leave a legacy, so. I did want to say briefly, too, just to further update you, as the city progresses on this industrial park with this property, the work is going on with a water line right now, a loop line. And Jason, would you speak to that just a moment so the commission would be aware of the additional, the utilities that you're working on right now that would impact the ability to make this property more marketable if purchased?
Yes, of course. I think it's kind of funny. I think whenever the purchase of the property to the north, I think Morale left me up here last time too. But
It did disappear, didn't it?
yeah. But no, that project's coming along great. It's a very large project, and obviously we kind of we didn't want to bite off more than we could chew at once, and so we've worked on getting our survey completed in kind of a phases type way, and then we're also going to tackle the water line project in a phased type method. There'll be 3-phase kind of for the water line. Phase 1 would be a loop that goes down Willow, down 66, and then back on Chestnut, and then the second phase would be a loop that goes further on Willow down 78th, and then back around on Chestnut. And then the final leg of that would be the tie-in down at US 412. And then the final kind of leg of the project would be the 2 phases of the sewer line project. We're kind of assuming there'll be two legs to the sewer line, and so each one of those legs would be a phase in itself. So.
And one other thing, Dr. McInerney, RDA, are taking on the responsibility of doing the Phase 1 environmental site assessments. We just got a report on the 398 acres, and there were not issues. So that's helpful when folks come and are looking to buy those properties. They want to make sure they're not buying a nuclear waste dump and that kind of stuff. So that's an update on the things that are going on with the property. You can. It's up to you if we move forward with it tonight.
Any other comments, concerns? If not, I'll look for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a second. Please cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0.
to 4-4.
Huh?
We're going to go back to 4.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and read the results now for the board results for the Enid Park and Recreation Board. Remember, we had 3 positions open on that. James Cheatham receives all 7 votes from everyone up here. I'm not going to read that. Nicole Winfield received all 7 votes from everyone up here. And then Donald John received 5 votes. Commissioner Norwood, Commissioner Saragusa, Commissioner Stallings, Commissioner Orr, and myself. Robert Falk received 1 vote from Commissioner Roberts, and Andrew Ingalls received 1 vote from Commissioner Blevins. So our 3 volunteers, board members are James Cheatham, Nicole Winfield, and Donald John. So once again, everybody that signed up, thank you so much. Please continue to do that. And we always need good volunteers. So, all right, I'm going to move now to item number 6, consent.
I've got a quick question to Jason on 6.3, the Norman Box Road culvert. We got a change order. Can you explain what happened there?
Yes, of course. Let me.
6.3.
6.3. Oh, I'm just double checking. This is for the portion for the Eisenhower Bridge. If you remember back 5 months ago, whenever that was, we found that the Eisenhower Bridge located just south of Chestnut along Eisenhower was basically non-functioning, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
We had to close it and make that repair. And so in order to expedite that work, we changed ordered, or we asked that the contractor that was working on the Norman Road project, since it's very similar work.
Yeah.
We had them move over there to do that work. And this change order here is basically it's putting a bow, I guess is the way to say it. That's what this
there's
work cost.
nothing new at Norman Road?
No, not at no, sir.
Are we making good progress out there?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay.
Actually, just.
When a finish date?
I don't have a finished date, but I know that we've moved to basically the box is in place and all of that, and so they're basically doing the roadway work and then the finishing portions of cleanup, sod, those type of things. So,
well, Gerald, if you can just keep an eye on that and make sure this gets finished, because I know before the Eisenhower Bridge failed, it was supposed to be done before Christmas, and I understand things change. We got to divert resources, but there's a disabled vet who lives on that road that called me, and he's on a mobility scooter, and this box culvert is in between him and his favorite fishing pond, which he likes to drive down to. He doesn't have a car, so he has to drive down there, and he hasn't been able to go down there since this is completed. It's not a big deal because it's winter, but he would like to get out of the house pretty soon, so if we can.
I know we'll get it
keep on
completed
this and get it
expeditiously.
done.
I'm very
Appreciate it.
proud of the team for fixing Eisenhower Bridge in record time. We
Yes.
couldn't have done that without the change order. So kudos to you guys. I don't know how long that was, but that's the fastest one I can ever remember. So you set a high standard. But we will make sure the main work on Norman gets completed too.
Thank you. I move to approve all consent items.
Second.
Motion and a second. Cast your ballot. Motion passes 7-0. Item 6.5. No, I'm sorry. I'm down to 7. Recess to convene as the Enid Municipal Authority. All the trustees are present for the Enid Municipal Authority regular meeting. Item 9.1, approval of claims in the amount of $225,735.30.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. Cast your ballots. Motion passes 7-0. Item number 10, adjourn to convene as the Enid Public Transportation Authority. All trustees are present. Item 12.1, approve the claims in the amount of $2,402.53.
Move to approve.
Second.
Please cast your ballots.
Summer, can you change that? I'm sorry, I meant to vote the other way.
You want all of us?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the camera. Commissioner Stallings? Thank you.
Number 13, adjourn to reconvene as the Enid City Commission. Item 14, public comment. I have 2 people signed up for public comment. Please come to the stand whenever I call your name, repeat your name and your address, and hold your comment to 1 minute, please. Ruth Ann Miles.
Greetings, City Council. I am Ruth Ann Miles. I have presented sexually explicit excerpts from library books from the youth section of the public library at past meetings. I have been approached several times, twice by people I did not know, expressing gratitude for exposing the sexual indoctrination of youth at the library. I have received 1 negative comment. This comment came from a library employee while I was searching for a book at the public library. The employee did not express offense of the content I have read. The offense was the title I have used, Saucy Story Time. I was told that is inflammatory language. I am discouraged the content was not the offense due to the aftermath of hidden Discord chats discussing sexuality with minors led by a former library employee and current library director. After this confrontation, it is clear minors are not safe at the Enid Public Library. Public libraries should be a place everyone can be affirmed they are more than their sexual orientation. Thank you for 60 seconds.
Thank you. Our second speaker is Nancy Presnell.
Nancy Presnell, 3602 East Market. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. At the last City Council meeting, Commissioner Blevins cast 2 disturbing votes. One was against the City of Enid paying its bills. I think the first time anybody has ever voted against the city paying its bills. He later claimed to have accidentally voted no on this. That's a bald-faced lie. We just saw that a vote could be changed immediately, and apparently he doesn't think the rest of us are smart enough to know that. But the vote was cast in spite and in anger, just like a toddler throws a tantrum. We need grown-ups running our city. Also, Commissioner Blevins is said to have been rejected for employment by the Oklahoma Highway Patrol several times. This may or not be correct, I don't know, but an investigation is needed to confirm or disprove it. If this is correct, it speaks poorly to his fitness for public office. We do know that he casts votes in anger and then lies about it. That's enough right there to vote him off our city council. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And that's all the people that have signed up for public comment. I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion and a second. Please cast your ballot.
Second.
The second was right. Who did the
I'll
second?
do second. She'll second.
Okay, we are adjourned.
Somebody wants to stay?